Hello collective, welcome to the channel, or welcome back my OGs. This is going to be a hard transmission of energy, so it's going to be very specific. It's not a collective reading, it's just me showing to you the after effect of my life. So because I cannot film before I transmute energy, I cannot help you guys if I don't help myself first, right? Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I was having a really hard morning where I had heavy dreams. Because I am a dream traveler, I have been my whole life. I have very intense and lucid dreams. And well, it's kind of like working while sleeping, so I usually wake up still in processing of different dimensions and parallel universes, and the things I see sometimes in my dreams really needs to be studied. However, I woke up with this, just 3D problems when it comes to finances, and it's now been the second month of me not getting any social security money because, well, first month was kind of my problem. I was very self-isolating and very manically depressed, kind of transmuting a lot of energy because of a really hard and traumatizing past year. So, you can click off if this is too heavy for you. I don't really mind if this gets 0 views at all, or if nobody stays to hear the story, but it might help some people. So welcome to my world, right? Welcome to my home, welcome to my corner of the internet where I need to show you what I'm going through, because I have a calling to do it, right? I am starting to decompress and feel freedom again in my life. So a lot of things are resurfacing with me, right? And the thing that is kind of keeping me stuck in my environment and in my hometown is the financial part. And it's really hard to live out my Azores dream if, I've quit and started many security jobs, and that environment just isn't for me. That's why I'm trying to do these videos as often as possible. So, the algorithm spreads the love. So this is gonna be a very cry videos. I'm gonna show you all of my nervous and sad and angry and rageful emotions that I still am processing, because I know that there are a lot of people being targeted by many demons and many entities, and I have a lot of rage when it comes to, keeping the chosen ones, keeping the light workers, and keeping all of the good intended hearts back in fear and stuck in their negative cycles and, bad ways of living, right? So I'm here to transmute these energies for you, and also for myself. But it's a hard thing to speak so openly about something that you haven't even told your best friends in detail. So trigger warning, we're probably going to talk about financial distress, domestic violence, and anxiety, depression, and so on, just mental health in general, and how I go through these things alone, right? So you don't have to go alone through it, and I don't have to go alone through it, right? Because sometimes we're stuck in timelines, in processing of where we went wrong, where the other person went wrong, and we're holding our fingers back and constantly taking on lots of loads of energy that isn't ours. And I know that the only thing I have to be sad about is my own, well, sad about, I took out a credit, a loan of many, many thousands of euros for my previous partner that was very violent with me in the end for pretty much no good reason. It's nobody deserves to go through things like that at all. And I want to say it out loud for all of the next generations that it's okay to speak out. It's okay. You're safe. And your truth is safe, right? Even though you might not be safe yet, there are always resources and content and, positive things around you that are worth living, which is usually your dream, your path, everything that you love about this world. Don't ever forget the things that you always loved about this world. And you love animals, you love minerals, you love positive music, you love music that lets you rage out, that lets you vibe out, that lets you, pop out. And you just like and love so many things and so many people and so many creatures and beings of light, and they love you back so much that there is nothing in this world that can take that away from you, your dream, where you want to be and where you deserve to be and who you deserve to be and who you always wanted to be. No dream is big enough to dream, because all of your dreams are the reason why you're here, why you have incarnated, why you have the problem of being a trapped light. That's the sole reason why you feel alone. That's the sole reason why you feel angry and sad and righteous, But you do it for others. You don't do it as much for yourself. And it's time to start doing it for yourself. It's time to liberate yourself, because you have that power. And it's time to spread your wings and fly, birdie. It's time for you to sing out loud. It's time for you to go where you always wanted to go. Because that brings you peace, that brings you safety, that brings you love. Because you took the step. You did the thing you were always so scared to do. People always told you, you're never gonna do this or be that. But you will, because I know you will. Because we're getting there together. And you don't deserve to feel this way. You deserve to be the dragon in your own life and not put yourself on the level of these fucking snakes, okay? You were meant to sing, you were meant to create, you were meant to express yourself, you were meant to do all the things that you love, because that's just the way it is, okay? Trust me, guys. So I've been working hard, right? I've been creating, I've been making, adding to my deck, I've been rearranging stuff in my room. I have a vision, and the thing that's stopping me from my vision is now transmuting the fact that I need to only help myself and focus on me, right? And I'm making this plan, but it's always in God's plan. And I can't go before I finish certain things. I can't go in my life if people don't know the abuser who was abusing and being violent in so many ways, in a spiritual way, a physical way, a mentally emotional way. And I thought I cried enough before filming. I don't want you to get this energy at all, but thank you for watching and for staying alive. Grab your minty lemon waters. We're hydrating and purging this energy out of our lives, out of my life, because I don't want this to ever affect my mission here. I always had an affinity to astrology, astronomy, you know, balancing science with fiction and trying to understand everything and everybody, which gave me great powers because I always did it selflessly. Yes, I have been selfish in my life many times, and I have repented for that in so many different ways. I've made my peace with people after, 10 years. I spoke my truth when I learned about the lies, and nothing will stop me from speaking my truth. Not even my own anxiety, not even my own depression. I'm not hiding, and so shouldn't you. I've had OCD since I was like 8. I used to tick real hard, like spazzing out with my muscles of my face, of my arms, my legs, just a lot of suppressed energy. And that's also what anxiety and depression is, right? It's every time you have had to suppress a part of yourself, your truth, you bottled it up in your body and it has to go out somehow, but it keeps circling in your brain, in your circuits, in your energetic field. We have these attachments, we have these aura tears, we have so many different karmic ties and so many things we need to be aware of besides the physical. And boy, have I been aware. I have gone through many narcissistic relationships where my brain was tested, my faith was tested, my livelihood was tested, my diet was tested, and I'm still in a trauma response with my body. As you can see, I am very, very thin, but I'm also like just, a few kilograms below my normal weight, which was always looking healthy on me because I am of athletic genealogy, thank God. So I can't really complain, but I am complaining because it's really hard for me to gain weight because everything comes from, you know, fasting the energies, or having been broken up in the past on an anniversary while eating. That fucked me up for 4 years, and this is what, year 5 or 6 after that. And I've been at 56 kilograms, and I'm 171 centimeters tall, right? So it's still by BMI underweight, but that's just a bullshit way of feeling like you're fat all the time or underweight all the time. It's the way you feel inside your body, right? It's the way you don't care for yourself sometimes anymore, because your brain and your bodies are so traumatized from past events that are still attached to you. And I'm here to transmute this energy for the whole collective, because I've realized, while being very analytical and scientific about metaphysics, right, the occult, I've cracked some codes that I'm willing to share with you. Maybe not in this video, but we'll get there. So I'm here to transmute this energy, this demon of the biggest ego in the world, right? And I've been silent for months. The last time I've seen this person was January 20th, 2026. And I have I have enough to, you know, be secure when it comes to evidence of my testimony. So what I've been doing this morning is first crying about being, you know, hocus pocus brocus. Then I was crying, get the fuck out of here. I was crying about, well, I was writing an email to my doctor because I still have problems with my memory, because I was hit in my head. I have problems with my feeling in my right leg, because I was kicked so much. And so on, right? So my nerves are getting the best of me at this point. But I fear nothing, right? I don't care if I pulverize right now, you know. I am God's chosen, so I have no fear. And because I have no fear, certain other emotions had to come to surface, because I was talking to Most High God and myself and him. And I wanted to, you know, text his father and be like, hope you know what your son is like. You raised a very ungrateful child, right? But I don't want anything from them at all. Not even money, not even a cent. I don't need it. I will pay off my own credit with my own light and my own hard work, but I can't go to work before I transmute all of this energy. And I don't want to be in, like, you know, asylums or going to therapy, because this is not something that people understand in a way that I do, in so many different ways and from so many different perspectives and perceptions. And I will write a book about this one day, right? So we have to start at the beginning, right? We have to start somewhere. And I didn't want to involve their parents, because they don't deserve to have more stress. They don't deserve to have sleepless nights. Even more, right? Because I don't know what Most High God is doing to them but I have prayed many times over them. Just to be laughing stock at the end of the day, or gossip time after lunch, right? And I feel everything, and I hear everything, and I see everything. What I don't, it's shown to me in my dreams. I've felt this person following me in one of my dreams through many lifetimes. This entity, this demon. And we went through many portals. And I kept being like, he's not gonna, unalive me. He's not gonna do that. And in my dream, I felt how he smashed my head from the back with a rock the size of his hand. And the last timeline was in front of my first home here in my hometown, which is a whole nother story for another day. But I was there, and I felt the pain in my dreams, while I still thought, like, he would never do that. He would never do that. And I woke up so scared, because I was so scared for so many months now. And he's gonna come and take maybe something he feels entitled to, or, damage me even more than he already did. And I can't, just forget about it. I have to do this for myself. To start living, to be free, and to not carry this weight any longer. It's a beautiful crow. I am done wasting my energy on somebody so demonic. So I'm encouraging you to stop wasting your life and your hearts and your love on these horrible people. They don't have to hit you for them to be fucking demons in your life, right? I know who I am, and I don't have to prove nothing to anybody. Never did, never will. And I never did to these people. Sorry, that was violent pouring. I was listening to I Prevail before to kind of yell out some stuff in karaoke session. My nails are even more wretched today because I was doing even more gardening. Doing my best, right? We're all doing our best, guys. Don't forget to hydrate with lemon and some herbs. I have mint here. She's protecting us and cleansing us. She's peppermint or spearmint. I'm not sure. I think she's one of the more aromatic ones. So she joined us on our quest a few days ago. you know, there's a big difference between humanoids and some of us, we're aliens and we don't fit in, because there kind of has to always be balance between light and dark, right? Oh, my sacral chakra is healing. Good news, guys. We're gonna get even more creative. I need to recollect my thoughts, really, but you could also be experiencing these moments of spacing out and these pulls on timelines where you're still processing them, right? But we are unstoppable collective. We keep working on the things that we have to work on, because nobody's going to just, you know, make us money and give us food into our mouth and clothe us and make us survive the 3D and the whole matrix system, right? The whole, you can't get nowhere because you were born into poverty and you're still stuck with that mindset, or whatever it is, right? It's being misconcepted in your environments. Like, it's just been hard on us in so many ways, because we don't fit here for a reason. Where we are and where we were, we weren't a match, but we were there for a good reason, to show light and dark mirrors, to show that there are ways to, you know, clear out karma and turn it into dharma, and, you know, just focus on ourselves with all the love that we are able to give. I am leaking. But these things have to come out, right? We have to we have to speak about it, we have to cry about it, we have to make a move towards feeling safe. We need to make the move towards our freedoms, and we need to make, you know, these freedoms are different. It's financial freedoms, it's physical freedoms, it's mental freedoms, most likely, right? And whatever has been holding you back, collective, it's pretty much your whole life you went through having to process everything on your own and within your own given parameters. So you started maybe even, you know, imposing certain restrictions upon yourself, or, you know, switched certain, let me say it like this, because you maybe didn't have a good structure or system growing up, you felt safest alone. So whenever anybody tested that, and whenever anybody was let in your heart, you trusted them, you gave your all, you loved, you know, to the capacity you were processed at that point in time. So you didn't have a problem understanding that what you did in your teenage years or early 20s was a byproduct of everything that came before that, right? Not having a loving parental figure, or, you know, maybe your friends were ghosts or animals or trees or something like that, right? But you've seen the beauty in your connections and everything that you have taken upon your heart. I have so many things to say to you guys. you know, I think I could have gone through life without speaking these things out loud and making them be online forever. But I felt like the restrictions that were imposed on me made me that much more probable to solve this problem, right? So I could have gone to the police. I could have sent his parents a text message or a letter with all due respect, right? Even though they never gave me any respect. But that's okay. That doesn't show anything about who I am, right? I could have done many things. I've had many offers of help in different ways, which I don't condone because I am not here to promote violence. I'm here to stop it as well. And on the narcissists, well, I am their worst nightmare. And I have sacrificed my livelihood, my nervous system, and my heart for this path, for this mission, and for this exposal, right? There's always this point where you may be thinking or feeling like you could have done something earlier, but following your intuition and your own survival techniques is what actually made you stay alive. And that's nothing to be ashamed about. That's nothing to put yourself down for ever, because it can be 3 months, it can be 3 years or 30 years. There's a difference between doing things out of your own safety, like not exposing certain things and not heightening other people's emotions or including other people into a private matter. But there's a line, right? And even if you're only, quote unquote, only, if you're dealing with something that has never gone into the physical nature of abuse, it's still abuse. It's still you not having your own thoughts, you not having your own opinions or being able to express any of them, you feeling trapped like in a cage, like you're not allowed to work, you're not allowed to have friends, or nobody around you is good enough to meet up with, or everybody's a demon, so they say, right? So you start getting into your friends and family from their perspective, and it's usually super toxic, and they keep you stuck in this bubble because they make you feel like you need them for one or other reason. And especially if it's spiritual reasons, like they call themselves your soulmate or twin flame, or does anything along those lines, well, they have another thing coming either way, right? So I've came to that point where I felt like if I don't speak up to multiple necessary sources, which is, first the doctor, and I will go to the doctor tomorrow, and I will get checked, because I know I am in many ways different than I was 6 months ago. But it's like, a lot of distrust and caution, and still having problem with my memory and my nerves, physical, like I can't feel certain parts of my body very well. My nose is still kind of, depends on how I press it, it still hurts, but it's not, it wasn't broken, but I was bleeding from it. So I needed some time to process everything and figure out how I'm going to go about this. And I think that the best way to go about it is to have it on record, right? To tell somebody, to go somewhere and talk to somebody. Even if you go through that story 400 times, it's very important to recollect your power and recollect your parts of your brain that have shut down because of a trauma response, and parts of your energetic body as well. It's time to release the trauma, because it's not your burden to carry. It's not your... It happened to you, yes, but it's very fair to say the least that we don't deserve for it to keep happening in our minds, to keep those cycles of thoughts alive. That's why we have to write it out, say it out. And when I cried the most was when I was writing to my doctor, like, please help. A lot of people have helped me so far in many ways, but there's only so much that they can do and understand before they get protective about me. That's why I don't tell every detail, right? Well, not to everybody. So, yeah. Probably police is next, right? Because somebody has to have this on record that, I don't know. I'm not afraid, right, for him to come disrupt my life ever again, because I know that Most High God will always put an obstacle on a path towards me. He always did with many people. That's why it's really important that you cord cut, cleanse the energies as they come frequently, right? That's as frequently as you should cleanse mindfully, and be aware of all of these intrusive energies and thoughts that are trying to ride your coattail to greatness. And because you have so much talent, you have so many abilities to transmute all of your pain and anger and sadness into creations of love and light, right? You probably are a great songwriter, or somebody that just makes things with their hands and their voice, whatever it is. You know, your mission is very important. Even if everybody does it, you do it differently. It doesn't matter. Nothing can hold us back but these cycles of which we still have attachments to, because they haven't been fully processed. I'm sorry, I'm all snotty. I was so done today, and this is my initiation, right? Whatever happens from this point on, it's all for my highest good. It always has been. even in my hardest of times, while going through these things, I was always with God. He was always with me. He always keeps me alive in the most ridiculous ways. For a reason. So I can testify, so I can prophesize, so I can do great, loving things in this world and not suffer anymore. Things that were imposed upon me because of other people's insecurities and complexes and delusions and psychological problems that come from their childhoods. And that's not my problem. It's really not. They never cared about me. The whole family never cared about me or my existence. They only cared about their own preserving and success. So whoever has those types of egotistical and negative intentions, those are the people I pray for. Because I pray for the day that they will see the light and the love that they are missing, that's standing right in front of them, unable to talk, because that's just not how it should be. So don't let people make you go crazy. Don't let people make you feel a certain way if these are not your emotions. I'm here to be a happy girl. I'm here to be a loved girl, right? And especially a loving girl. And these people have really tested my capability of loving again, trusting again, having family ever, a unit that cares for me, and that I can care for without hidden agendas. People will try to take your confidence because of their insecurity. Don't ever let them. Suppress it until they're gone out of your life. But never forget who you are, collective. Never forget who you are in essence. Never disappoint the little boy or the little girl inside of you that now looks up to who you became out of your capability of loving others, having pure intentions, and really caring about everyone around you. Yes, we were incarnated to break certain cycles of karma from past lives. But just know this, collective, these people will always reincarnate back to swines, so don't cast your pearls at swines. Don't use up your energy, your beautiful light energy, for anybody that tries to keep you down, keep you small, keep you stuck, keep you stagnant and in their energy, because now you're capable of differentiating who you are or who you used to be, where you lost yourself on the path, and how you're going to recollect yourself back up. It's time to stop wasting all your energy and your love on these stupid swines. And I'm sorry to all the actual piggies in the world. Like, it's not even a good comparison, because these people, these entities that are in many people following you, collective, have followed you through lifetimes. And this is not the lifetime that they unalive you in, okay? Keep shining your lights, keep loving your lights and focusing on them. Don't care about any annoyances or nuisances, just Azimuth, babies. We gotta Bear Grylls this shit, right? It's a crazy life in the jungle, as Bruce Stevie says. I love that guy. So yeah, shout out to Iran. This is a as much of a, you know, the war is on. It's a spiritual war, and it always has been. So never let anybody differentiate you from yourself, because you are made in God's image. You are a sequence of genes, of light, of these beautiful microchips of different ways of expression, and these people are just jealous, envious, trying to kill that light, trying to like for ego to win and finances to win. So fear not. We are getting millions, guys. We are going viral, right? Whatever you're doing, I'm sending you positive energy to put everything out there, to express yourself, to let it out in your own emotional ways. Feel every emotion and let go of it. Don't suppress them inside your vessel, because after I did what I had to do for myself, which was contacting my doctor, I felt an immense pressure being lifted off my shoulders, and I can breathe better because of you guys that tune into this message, that support me on my mission. Love you, my OGs. We're all the greatest. We're all goats, greatest of all time, right? Not like those demonic goats. We are turning pentagrams into pentacles here, guys. We're transmuting energy into abundance, not scarcity and poverty. Those are not in our vocabulary anymore. We are just acknowledging them as entities that have followed us through one or many lives, or as a karma for a previous life, right? Where we have indulged too much in our south nodes. But this lifetime, we are meant to, and in this age, this day and age, we are meant to be living in the North Node, in our true, following our Northern Star, following our path, following ourselves, right? And thank you for thank you for following my path, or listening in, tuning into these powerful messages and these weird emotions that are just nasty, but like, who better, right? So I will not do any reading on it, because this is just me talking to those that care, right? Those that are going through the same path of ascension that has been very, let's say, for the lack of a better term, scorpionic, very plutonic, very weird, and very alien. You know, sometimes you aren't considered even to be a human, like Pluto isn't even considered being a planet, but if you're a millennial or older than that, then you know Pluto will always be a planet, so fuck off. But yeah, there's no ending to this. don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so the algorithm pushes this out to the people that are in need of hearing this, because that's the best way to support channels on YouTube. And your comments really mean a lot to me. They keep giving me inspiration. I keep making more cards for my oracles, and I keep expanding my vision. And I really want to take you on this journey with me, where we go through the deep and dark stuff and you know, our dark mirrors. And what better way than telling my own story of being followed by these entities my whole life, trying to suppress my light and my abilities, which is at this point seeing other people's emotions, intentions, and you know, everybody's transparent now, and that's what demons fear the most, being seen for what they are. And that's the sole reason why we have to transmute these energies and speak out about them, to not be forced into parameters of mental illnesses, but transmuting that energy back into a vessel, a body, a mind, a soul that keeps going back to that inner child, where we ourselves as adults create these safe spaces for ourselves and create these different ways of expression of our path, what we have gone through, so the love can be shared and felt, so emotions of you guys can be felt. You also need to express what it is inside of different parts of your body that you still have been suppressing, so others feel safe to do it, others feel safe to walk away from what doesn't serve them, and so on and so on, right? We are showing the path. We are like the shepherd that's being, you know, shepherded by Most High God, right? And what I also want to say is that sometimes it's hard to discern because of people's charm and pathological lying and ways of keeping you around, making you feel like you're nothing without them. That's ending today. You, Divine Collective, you are a very special bunch of people that were put in different people's lives so they could come to the light side from the dark side. It wasn't for you to be kept in your darkness. It was meant for you to keep showing your light, keep showing your light, keep elevating, keep accelerating, keep doing things, keep leaving a legacy behind, keep coming out with new songs, new images, new media, new inventions, new products, whatever you're doing. Keep expanding your energy, because it's not that your past hasn't made you who you are today. It's the point where you separate yourself from feeling like you deserved any of that. But everything that you actually deserve is on the other side of you. At the exact point in time where you decide to separate yourself from that timeline and do it in your own way, you know, we cannot always bring people to the right justice. And we always also sometimes don't want to, you know, make it harder for people, but they've made it hard for themselves. And if you're having a hard time, don't make it harder for yourselves. Make it lighter for yourselves. Try to find ways to alleviate pressures, stretching, running, right? Doing something different, something new, something that shifts your reality is something that you do with your own body in action that can actually shift, right? Because just thinking about doing things, it's not going to do them. So you have to do something different. Like I went for a run for just 10 minutes after 15 years, a few months ago. And that was it. I just did something different that I was like, that's just not for me, you know, like I hate running, I hate the knees being, you know, strained from the pressure and of stepping on concrete, and, you know, the anxiety going through all these people and me being out of breath yet looking athletic, or having anxiety about people not thinking about like, why am I running if I'm already so skinny, and, you know, just a bunch of things that I'm aware of in general, or that I have had to run out. I had to shake my body up, I had to dance it out, I had to sing it out, I had to do many different things to even level my thoughts, even be able to be in front of camera, because I was super camera shy, and, you know, a bunch of demons that need to be transmuted are a collective that of these wretched, nasty, smelly energies that's following, attached to you like leeches, and it keeps taking away from your energy collective. And I keep looking at my power stones. So I put my power Lemurians on this little, you know, blackboard I have. I'm a blackboard. I'm a blackbird. And yeah, it says all the things that I'm due to pay, but it doesn't say amount. And then underneath that is my dreams, my packing list, and just like, please protect this light. What I want to say is that I'm channeling that these burdens are being alleviated because we are letting them go, right? We are crying them out, we're yelling them out, but we're not directly affecting these people just yet, maybe. But, you know, sometimes we need an even better support system, or a longer time to recuperate, to go into action, because we have been made to think that we are alone on this planet, and that we are undeserving and unworthy, and so on and so forth. But that's the furthest thing from the truth, my collective of hearts. Everything is going to try you, to keep you away from your greatness, because each of these entities know the light that they're chasing, the light that they're feeding off of. So don't let them feed off of your light collective. None of these attachments, none of these addictions, none of these past lovers, friends have anything on you. None of them. And the sole reason for that is your big heart. So fear nothing. There's abundance coming in for you as we speak. It's being transmuted, because as soon as you let go of, you know, trying to be self-righteous, and transmuting that into doing the thing that's right for you, you kind of, in 80%, let go of that. It always has residual energy that needs to be cleansed out and worked on and processed, because, you know, everybody has their own grieving timelines, and, you know, we're not just grieving the love that we thought we had and the connection that was very strong. We are also transmuting the fact that they have hidden things from us, have lied to us, about us, on our names, and we are being vindicated. Most High God says we are being vindicated. as we speak, the birds are taking flight, the pressure is changing. We're blooming, each with, you know, within our own timelines of sprouting. You know, some of us are spring people, some of us are summer people, some of us are autumn or winter people, and we also have those biomechanics inside of us where we have already become highly aware of how certain rhythms work, and that when we are going through internal winters, it's, you know, this point of compression. But what follows always is the sun and the opening up, right? The springing into the next season. It's that fire in you, it's that bounce in you, and that restlessness. So if you have been feeling restless, that's a good indication of your energy being already in the transmutation process, already being transmuted, being released. Sorry guys, my throat is clogging up like no tomorrow. My neighbors probably think I'm crazy because I have my blinds open and it's really cloudy, and I have a ring light on, and it's probably really shiny and everybody can see what I'm doing, crying out loud behind closed windows, because there's enough interferences already. We don't need more of them as a collective. I almost said surrender when I said collective. How long have we been going? Okay, it's been an hour, so I probably have tired you out. But maybe you also have just taken your first breaths, which are kind of tired after what have you went through. You're starting to feel your body back. You're starting, like my tummy is rumbling because it's hungry. I'm getting that hunger for life again. And I also need to eat. And I've been really good with my diet. Thanks for asking. I'm trying to eat when I'm hungry, and I'm trying to eat good protein and vegetables and, you know, salad, and drink water with lemon, and, you know, kind of detox myself. I'm also going to do zeolith. I don't know what's it pronounced correctly in English, but it's a mineral, pulverized mineral that absorbs all heavy metals inside of your body and detoxes you out. And detoxes all of these heavy metals out of your system, and it's also good to deal with parasites, if I'm not mistaken. But I use it as a spiritual / medical, not really medical, but, you know, body vessel thingy. So yeah, a lot has to come out of different centers, right? Collective, we are expressing ourselves a lot clearer. The more we express ourselves from our truths, the more easier it is to focus on intuition, the only voice, your north node, your true, like, inner voice that is guiding you for your highest and best intention. So yeah, this has been a heavy transmission, but it is my energy, and I'm sorry to anyone that has tuned into this energy not being maybe resonating in that DV type of way. It might be even harder for you, especially if you're a personal friend catching up with the story. There's a lot more that I wish to say, but there are different timelines that I have to tap in, because now that I have spoken about an hour about it, that's another almost 20 gigabytes of upload that I don't know how I'm going to pay my phone with. So, you know, I have a different mission here. It's not to talk about myself as much as it's to talk about things and to show you how I transmuted them, and that it's okay to sometimes do things in your own timing to ensure safety of the passage, especially when it comes to you dealing with mental health issues or, you know, being stuck in your bodies in different ways. So I hope this helped. I hope you resonated with this message, especially if you resonated with this message. From the deepest parts of my heart, I really hope it helped you in some way to cry with me or be like, yes, girl, go, you know, whatever it is, however you support me back in energy with the good intentions. I really feel all of your love back in so many different ways. And I'm so excited to, you know, be on the other side already, but there are certain things we have to take care of first in our immediate environments. And as it just started raining, the energy just started cleansing naturally. So I'm gonna go and recollect myself and finish the series for the astrology series. We still have Aquarius and Pisces, so don't forget to watch them. Watch your sun signs, watch your risings, because there's messages in both probably that you need to hear, and they will also help you to transmute certain energies, because we are going through different houses, which all of us have. So yeah, I hope the series was impactful for your lives, or will be impactful for your lives if you haven't seen them. And yeah, keep the comments, keep the likes coming. I love you guys from every part of me, but mostly from my heart. So stay heart-centered, stay in your crowns, and stay rooted, stay grounded. Find ways to balance your centers and prosper. I'm sending you energy of prosperity, abundance, and love, and everything that you always deserved. It's coming. I'm okay. We have to stop here, but tune in for more, guys.